Hi everyone, welcome. You're watching Eagle News. I am Rose Papa Angeles in Washington. It's Saturday, April 9, 2022, here in the nation's capital. Our coverage begins now. It was another historic moment for the United States as the Senate confirms Ketanji Brown Jackson as the first Black woman to serve on the nation's top court. The upper chamber of Congress erupts in applause as the 51-year-old is approved by a vote of 53 to 47.
On this vote, the yeas are 53, the nays are 47, and this nomination is confirmed. Under the previous order, the motion to reconsider is considered made and laid upon the table, and the President will immediately be notified of the Senate's action.
Madam President, very happily, I note the absence of a quorum.
The clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Baldwin.
For the first time in 233 years, this vote ensures white men will not be the majority on the Supreme Court. The second COVID booster is now available for eligible individuals. What are health experts saying to convince people to not disregard this extra layer of protection? Aaron Rio Tutar shares with us the details.
In March, the Biden administration began urging eligible Americans to receive a second COVID booster shot. Infection and hospitalization rates after the Omicron surge in January suggest that a second COVID-19 booster is needed. Despite this, many Americans have openly expressed reservations on receiving the additional shot despite authorization from the Food and Drug Administration and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The second booster dose is currently recommended for those over 50 and people who are immunocompromised who have received their first COVID booster at least 4 months prior. For boosted individuals considered younger and healthy, experts say there is no need to rush to the local health clinic as the effects of the first booster dose still work from 4 to even 6 months after it has been received. The BA.2 variant shows that it can be considered even more contagious than the Omicron variant. Aaron Rio Tutar, Eagle News, Los Angeles, California.
Meanwhile, in Canada, facing yet another spike in COVID cases, Toronto in Ontario ramps up its vaccination campaign and encourages residents to continue wearing masks. Joshua Santillana tells us more.
Toronto's top doctor, Dr. Eileen de Villa, answered questions and gave advice at Union Station on Monday, April 4, regarding the increasing number of cases within the city of Toronto. Dr. Eileen de Villa states that although mask mandates have been lifted in the province, she encourages Torontonians to continue masking, especially amidst the rise in COVID-19 cases. The conference happened along with the launch of Toronto's third dose drive. Dr. de Villa and Mayor John Tory advocates for all eligible Torontonians to get their third shot of the vaccine. The efforts to encourage Torontonians to stay vigilant in the fight against COVID-19 comes from public health officials' advice and projections. Although mask mandates in Ontario were removed from most public settings since March, and all COVID-19 restrictions are set to end later this month, public health officials say the peak of Omicron is projected to come in the next 4 to 6 weeks. As of April 4, the city of Toronto has over 5,000 active cases of COVID-19. The province of Ontario currently has over 25,000 active cases of COVID-19. These numbers are expected to rise in the following weeks. Joshua Santillana, Eagle News, Toronto.
In Australia, as the coldest of seasons approaches, those eligible to receive the COVID winter dose are highly advised to do so. In Townsville, Elisa Ventura tells us more.
Winter is coming, and so is COVID's second booster dose for Australians.
Over 95% of the Australian population are fully vaccinated. And as the colder months approaches, the Australian Technical Advisory Group on Immunisation, or ATAGI, recommends an additional booster dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. ATAGI says the eligible candidates for the winter booster dose are the identified vulnerable groups to the COVID-19 infection. These include adults over the age of 65 and older, residents of aged care or disability care facilities, individuals aged 16 and older who are severely immunocompromised, and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people aged 50 years and older. The winter booster may be given from 4 months since they last had their first booster dose, or 4 months after a confirmed COVID infection if they had the infection after the first booster dose.
Alyssa Ventura, Oceania at a Glance, Eagle News.
A year after the Michigan Reconnect program has launched, more than 91,000 students have grabbed the tuition-free college education opportunity it offers. In Farmington, Rani Bayuga has the details. Here's this week's Learning Curve.
We're here today at Schoolcraft College here in Farmington Hills, Michigan, where students can get tuition-free education throughout colleges like these throughout Michigan. The program is called Michigan Reconnect, or simply Reconnect. The intent is to reconnect Michiganders to good-paying jobs. And Michiganders are taking advantage of this great opportunity. For further information about this great program, just go to michigan.gov. There you will find the requirements and success stories that people have shared about this great program. Governor Gretchen launched this program with the help of the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity. In February 2021, this program was launched, and by February 2022, over 91,000 students have taken advantage of this free education. So if you are 25 years old or older and a resident of Michigan, you can go to your local community college and take advantage of this free education. Eligible students must apply for financial aid and may receive another $1,500 for trade schools or programs. One thing to note about this great opportunity is that if you attend at your local community college, your tuition is free. However, if you attend outside of your local community college, you will receive a discounted rate. Rani Bayuga, Learning Curve, Eagle News.
In related news, food insecure college students in Pennsylvania seek assistance to address campus undernutrition. In Swarthmore, Myla Simbulan tells us what the state is doing to help.
Did you know that over 30% of college students here in the United States are food insecure? Yes, more than 30 in every 100 college students do not have enough to feed themselves properly. Here in Pennsylvania, $1 million have just been allocated to create a grant program addressing food insecurity in college campuses. The program aims to expand campus food pantries, increase outreach about available supports, hire social workers or benefits navigators to assist students, and improve data gathering efforts. Reports say over 30% of students know someone who dropped out of college due to food insecurity during the pandemic. And more than 50% of students who faced food or housing insecurity in 2020 did not apply for support. Why? Because they did not know how. Many college students who are coming out of high school have relied on free or reduced priced meals throughout their education. And even though a student's socioeconomic status likely has not changed, those programs do not exist for college students. The food challenges they had in grade school follow them into the next phase of their lives, and it may be more difficult of a challenge as they juggle new financial responsibilities like housing, books, and other costs. Myla Simbulan, Eagle News, Swarthmore, Pennsylvania.
In the airline industry, one sector that is making headlines is the discount or budget market. Recently, JetBlue makes a major announcement that has made the skies between competitors not so friendly. With the details, Bobby Soriano on this week's Mind Your Business.
Hello and welcome to this segment of Mind Your Business, where we follow the latest news moving the markets and business trends that may affect your workplace soon. Here are the latest business headlines. Major news coming out of the U.S. airline industry, as JetBlue Airways announced on Tuesday a bid to acquire Spirit Airlines for $3.6 billion, setting up a bidding war with Frontier Airlines in the discount flying market. The all-cash bid of $33 a share marks a 52% premium of Spirit's price prior to its February 7 announcement of the deal with Frontier, according to JetBlue. Quote, JetBlue firmly believes this proposal constitutes a superior proposal under Spirit's merger agreement with Frontier and represents the most attractive opportunity for Spirit shareholders, JetBlue said. Frontier hit back at the JetBlue announcement and said its proposed merger with Spirit remained, quote, in the best interest of consumers and shareholders, a Frontier spokesperson said. Mergers and acquisitions are a common occurrence in the airline industry, with 70% of all U.S. airline traffic controlled by only 4 airlines: Delta, United, American Airlines, and Southwest Airlines. JetBlue, currently the 6th or 7th largest airline in the country, depending on the metric, hopes its acquisition of Spirit will help boost its share of the U.S. market at a time when customers are trying to find steep discounts to fight the inflating cost of airline travel. Reporting from New York, Bobby Soriano, Mind Your Business, Eagle News.
Back here in Washington, admirers of post-impressionist art now have a chance to learn more about one of the era's artists, Vincent van Gogh. In an immersive and interactive exhibit, you will get a glimpse of his life, legacy, and a number of secrets. Here's Jeff Sanidad on this week's Color My World.
Have you ever wondered how it would be if you were in a painting? Not just any painting, but a celebrated masterpiece like The Bedroom at Arles, of no less than the greatest artist, the greatest genius of his time, the Vincent van Gogh. Join us as we journey to the Vincent van Gogh's universe.
Today, we will explore his life, his halve, and his secrets as never seen before through a cutting-edge 360-degree digital projection. Created by Italian artist Massimiliano Siccardi, music composed by Luca Longobardi, the Van Gogh immersive experience features more than 400 licensed works by one of the most influential figures in post-impressionist art.
This exhibit is a 360 immersive and interactive experience where people are going to be able to rediscover Van Gogh's life, not only his life and his artwork, also some secrets, techniques, and influence in a completely different way.
This 60 to 70-minute COVID-safe experience is designed for every member of the family to discover and appreciate.
We will be very happy if a visitor step out knowing more about Van Gogh's life about his secrets, and having a fun time in a different way that the people used to enjoy art, you know.
Enticing visitors to surround themselves with the inspirations behind Van Gogh's magnificent works, including Vincent's Bedroom at Arles and Starry Night over the Rhone. Exhibits organizers have this invitation.
Just came open-minded to rediscover an amazing artist in different rooms with different angles that I'm completely sure they will enjoy, with older people, young people. It's a family-friendly experience.
Astonishing in scale and breathtakingly imaginative, Van Gogh's art is experienced in completely new and remarkable way. Jeff Sanidad, Eagle News, Washington, D.C.
If not now, when? If not us, who? Scientists are making an urgent plea that if we wish to dramatically reduce Earth's greenhouse gas emission to half its current rate in the next 8 years, starting today is our only chance. EJ Gonzalez on this week's Down to Earth.
In the most recent Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or IPCC report, scientists say there is increasing evidence of climate action. However, without immediate and deep emissions reductions across all sectors, limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius is beyond reach. The IPCC says since 2010, there have been sustained decreases of up to 85% in the cost of solar and wind energy and batteries. Thanks to the increasing range of policies and laws that have enhanced energy efficiency, reduced rates of deforestation, accelerated the deployment of renewable energy. IPCC Chair Hoo-Sung Lee says we are at a crossroads and the decisions we make now can secure a livable future. Lee says we have the tools and the know-how required to limit warming. IPCC says limiting warming to around 1.5 degrees Celsius or 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit requires global greenhouse gas emissions to peak before 2025 at the latest. This has to be reduced by 43% by the year 2030. At the same time, methane would also need to be reduced by about a third. But even if we do this, it is almost inevitable that we will temporarily exceed this temperature threshold, but could return to below it by the end of this century. IPCC Working Group, the third, co-chair Jim Skea, says it is now or never if we want to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius, and without immediate and deep emissions reductions across all sectors, it will be impossible. EJ Gonzalez, Down to Earth, Eagle News.
Speaking of emissions reduction, the state of Nevada says it is on board when it comes to building greener and eco-friendly communities. Bureau Chief Anna Cui reports.
The pandemic caused an upswing in relocations across the nation, and Las Vegas is one of those cities that continues to see an influx of people moving in. But is the city prepared to sustain the needs of its ever-growing population? By the year 2035, the population in Clark County, where Las Vegas is located, is expected to grow to over 3 million, according to the 2021 Clark County Population Forecast Report. Experts say this will definitely put a strain on the already limited water resources, among many other challenges, including energy use and transportation. For starters, Nevada is headed in the right direction when it comes to energy use. The state was recognized as a leader in green buildings and ranked 10th on the top 10 states for leadership in energy by the U.S. Green Building Council for 2021. Governor Steve Sisolak stated in a previous press release that green building standards are just one of the important tools the state can use to reduce emissions. Palazzo and the city center are just two examples of some of the largest LEED certified buildings that have been around in Las Vegas. In 2021, Nevada certified 9 projects representing over 4 million square feet of space that used fewer resources, thereby reducing carbon emissions and improving efficiency while providing operational cost savings. In addition to green building standards, Nevada adopted standards for light bulbs, replacing 42,000 street lights to LED lighting. Government officials also proposed the Appliance Efficiency Bill that takes effect in July 2023. It will set minimum energy efficiency standards for a wide range of appliances used in the homes and businesses in Nevada, ranging from water coolers and air purifiers to commercial fryers and ovens. This project estimates that the state would save more than $29 million a year by 2035 while removing the carbon emissions equivalent of 28,000 cars from Nevada roads. Speaking of roads, the transportation sector produces the largest share of greenhouse gas emissions, and with the increase in the state's population, especially in Las Vegas, there is a need for cleaner transportation options. According to Impact Nevada, Las Vegas is ranked the top metro area with electric vehicle or EV growth in the U.S., and with more EVs on the road, they say the state can reduce emissions by over 50%. It's also good for the economy as EVs don't need oil changes and electric charging is much cheaper than gas, especially right now. What about the limited water resources? In August 2021, the federal government issued a water shortage declaration on the Colorado River due to the low water levels in Lake Mead. In response, the Southern Nevada Water Authority, or SNWA, reduced the state's water allocation by 7 billion gallons this year. Now that's enough water to serve 45,000 homes. Fortunately, Southern Nevada reclaims and reuses all indoor water use, which helps in its conservation efforts. And to reduce water use outdoors, SNWA continues to offer cash incentives to residents and businesses when they replace their grass with a much more water-efficient, drip-irrigated desert landscaping. Since the program launched in 2000, they report saving more than 10 billion gallons of water per year. While other initiatives are in place, the Nevada legislature passed Assembly Bill 356 to further reduce outdoor water consumption. It requires non-functional grass to be replaced by the end of 2026. Anna Cui, Eagle News, Las Vegas, Nevada.
It's time for Oceania at a Glance. Port Moresby, the capital and largest city of Papua New Guinea, is involving community members in its campaign to uplift, make better people's way of life. Eco Hortaleza Quinola reports.
After 2 years of enduring the effect of the pandemic, Port Moresby moves forward with events flourishing in the National Capital District. The Active City Development Program and its various partners host a walk called Invest to End TB to Save Lives. This walk aimed to raise public awareness on tuberculosis and how it affects and claims lives. Starts from Sir Hubert Murray to Ella Beach. Papua New Guinea is one of the worst TB-burdened countries in the world. National Capital District Governor Poe Sparkop urges the public to pledge their support and commitment to seek preventive measures by living healthy lives and get tested. Meanwhile, the National Capital District collaborates with the Papua New Guinea Correctional Services and Papua New Guinea Fire Services to bring inmates on board in sustaining gains in the city. Inmates serving their term in Bomana Prison engage in the citywide cleanup and order awareness campaign at the National Parliament and National Courthouse. Acting City Manager Raul Frank commends the efforts the inmates exerted. A memorandum of agreement on Moterea Market in Hanobada Village has been signed. The project aims to push meaningful development and to economically uplift the lives of the people in this village.
This partnership can remind all of us that this is the strategic partnership that we need in order to intervene in our villages and lift them in the way that we can, in whatever way that is possible, in the capacity and the privilege that we have, in the position that we hold. The Motukoida Assembly is a strategic partner, without which we cannot reach out and help our people or be able to provide a platform for our people in the villages to live. And CDC is a strategic partner. It is the municipal government as overall, administration and oversight over the city. including our people, and it has to work with the Motokoy Assembly.
Port Moresby Governor Powis Parkop encourages the city's social transformation as the nation moves forward. Eko Taleza Quinola, Oceania at a Glance, Eagle News.
This week, one of the most improbable comebacks in the world of sports happened. Tiger Woods returned to golf, and he did it in an impressive fashion. Michael Hudson on EBC Sports International.
So Tiger Woods, the GOAT of all GOATs, played in his first PGA Tour tournament, which is the most revered championship in all of sports, the Masters. This is after he sustained a devastating leg injury after being involved in a car crash just a year and a half ago. In the first round, he greatly impressed. His swing was very smooth and powerful, and his touch around the greens were impeccable, hitting 3 birdies on the day. He didn't seem at all bothered by the injuries he once had, but the only thing was just his walk. His gait is a little bit different in that he was slightly limping around, but his game was incredible to watch as he is currently tied in 8th place and 1 under par. Some notable holes on the day. On the 5th hole, he lipped out a close birdie putt. On the 6th hole, almost a hole-in-one, landing the ball just inches away from the cup. And the hole of the day was on the 16th, where Tiger drained a 15-foot birdie putt and did his vintage Tiger fist pump. On his way to the last hole of the round, Tiger was met with a standing ovation before he sank his par putt to finish the day. Tiger said after the round, and I quote, "I did not have a very good warm-up at all, but I blocked it all out, got warm, and went out and played and executed every shot. I made a couple mistakes, but I fought back and got where I needed to be," and I end quote. When asked what he will be doing for the next 24 hours to prepare for round 2, he said, "Lots of ice," with a huge laugh after. We literally had no idea how he would play because he hadn't played in a golf tournament for 500 plus days, but I think after today's performance, it was a win not only for Tiger Woods himself, but the entire golf world. Reporting from Seattle, Washington, I'm Michael Hudson, Eagle News. We live in interesting times. Back to you.
In neighboring Maryland State, Governor Larry Hogan breaks 8 boards labeled toxic politics as he and his wife proclaim April 5 as Taekwondo Day. Rosel Feria tells us more.
Governor Larry Hogan and First Lady Yumi Hogan have presented a proclamation to declare Taekwondo Day in Maryland. This also to recognize a number of leading Taekwondo masters from across the state. Governor Hogan says Taekwondo Day in Maryland was first declared 6 years ago, April 5th. This is Arbor Day in Korea. This day has been especially chosen because Maryland has a special bond with Korea and also to represent the thriving Korean American community in the state. The governor adds Taekwondo is an important part of Korea's cultural legacy, and its successes and popularity have spread across Maryland and all around the globe. During the ceremony, Governor Hogan breaks through 8 boards, signifying his 8 years in office. The boards have been labeled toxic politics. In 2015, during a trade mission to Asia, the governor received an honorary 9th degree black belt from the World Taekwondo headquarters in Korea. In February, Governor Hogan was awarded the Gwanghwa Medal or Gwanghwa-jang by South Korea's ambassador to the United States, Lee Soo-hyuk. It is the highest reward that the Republic of Korea bestows to foreign dignitaries. In October this year, the proceeds of the annual Maryland Governor's Cup Taekwondo Championship are going to the Children's Cancer Foundation. Rosel Feria, Eagle News, Glen Burnie, Maryland.
Spring showers are here, perfect for a bowl of soup. And nothing beats the comfort of chicken soup. Now make sure an adult is around if you want to cook along. Put on those aprons and let's make some chicken sopas with Rednell and Serene on this week's Behind the Counter. our little darlings, Raintanelle and Serene. That looks so yummy. Now, before we let you go, since our tummies have been warmed up by that chicken soup we just made, let's join Dr. David as he takes us around America's charm city. Let's find out if Baltimore, Maryland really makes its way into our list of favorite places to explore. Enjoy.
If you're ever in the Baltimore City area, these are some places you gotta check out. Whether you're into food, modern architecture, or a history buff, there's a place for you. Come on, let's check it out. I'm here with my friend Austin, who's from the Baltimore area. Where do we gotta check out?
Some places you gotta check out are the Cross Street Market, Federal Hill, and the Baltimore Inner Harbor.
Let's go. Our first stop is the Cross Street Market. This is a historic marketplace built in the 19th century in Federal Hill, Baltimore, Maryland. In 1871, it was redesigned and rebuilt as a two-story building using the ground floor as a market and upper floor as a meeting hall. On May 19, 1951, a fire destroyed the entire market structure. A year and a half later, on November 19, 1952, the Cross Street Market reopened as a one-story, 31,800 square feet structure similar to today's architecture. In 2018, the market underwent a full renovation and reopened in May of 2019. The market was redesigned to incorporate lively indoor and outdoor dining spaces with a mix of vendors. Our second stop is Federal Hill Park. In 1608, Captain John Smith saw this site and remarked on its great red bank of clay. Serving as a defensive stronghold during the War of 1812 and the Civil War, Federal Hill provided a panoramic view of the city that contributed as a military outpost. Today, Federal Hill Park captures one of the most iconic views of Baltimore Inner Harbor, which is our next stop. One can walk to the Inner Harbor from Federal Hill. There are volleyball courts on the way and also a skate park. The Inner Harbor also offers many places to eat, along with historical tours and museums to visit. Such an awesome sight to see, families enjoying one another. Like I said, there's something for everybody. Hope you enjoyed the tour. David Oria, Eagle News, Baltimore.
See you tomorrow, Dr. David. Thank you all for watching. View, like, share our other shows. City Limits with Alan Basiyahe. Connected with Dr. David. Take a seat and join us with Anaqui. Playdate with Mike Hudson and friends. Plus, Journey, Stories of Filipinos in Canada with Kathleen Cruz. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Eagle News Live. Again, I am Rose Papa Angeles, and happy weekend, everyone.